Okay, so here is the study guide for our upcoming summative that is to be done on Monday directly in Canvas. For the first one here, it is our vocabulary terms. So we have two lines that intersect to form 90-degree angles. Sometimes it helps to draw a picture. So two lines intersecting that form that 90-degree angle, those are perpendicular. Lines. Then we have two lines that are always the same distance apart and never intersect. So two lines, same distance apart, never intersect. Those are parallel lines. A part of a line with a start point, so I have a starting point, but no end point. So that means it goes on and on and on. So that is called a ray. The point where two rays meet. So remember we talked about rays and where they meet. Here's a ray, here's a ray, and this is where they meet. It's called the vertex. A part of a line that has a point on both ends. So I have one side of the line with a point, the other side of the line with a point. That is called a line segment. All right, moving on. You should be able to classify angles as acute, obtuse, right, or straight. You don't necessarily have to look at an angle and have a measure given. It's basically giving it your best estimate by looking at it. As long as it looks like it's less than 90, we know it would be acute. As long as we know it's greater than 90 but less than 180, it's obtuse. Right angles are always given to us. They give us that little square in the corner because a square has 4 right angles. And then we have what's called a straight angle, which is 180 degrees. So you should be able to look at something and you should be able to get that idea of what it is. So the first one we have here is angle, because remember the symbol means angle. We're going to classify angle NCP. So I'm going to find where NCP is. And I see here's N, here is C, and here is P. Looking at this, it does look like that it's less than 90 degrees. So because of that, it must be acute. Next, I have angle DCE. DCE, DCE also looks like it's less than 90, greater than 0. So this would also be acute. Then we have DCA. So from D to C to A, if you look right here in the corner is a little square, so that denotes that this is a right angle. And then ECN. So let's see, where is ECN? Let's change that to yellow. And I see here's E to C to N. That looks like it might be a straight angle. If you said obtuse, I would probably take obtuse as an answer because it could very well be a obtuse angle. But I'm going to actually go ahead and ask a question here. But the following angle, if I was to point out angle BCP, and I asked you what type of angle that is, please tell me what it is. All right, moving on. It says, how do you find angle measures that are complementary to a given angle? So if you guys remember, I kind of went over complementary and I said if something was cute and another thing is cute and two cuties, they're complementing each other. Oh, you're cute, you're cute. So to find the angle measures for a complementary angle, if you're given the value, whatever that value is, remember complementary angles add up to 90 degrees. So you would subtract the given value from 90 degrees. So an angle's 25 degrees. What is its complement? So 90 minus 25 equals what? Shouldn't put that question mark there, but it is 65 degrees. Then we have an angle, and it's 76 degrees. What angle is complementary to it? So we do 90 minus 76. And when we subtract 90 from 76, we get 14 degrees. So next it says, how do you find angle measures that are supplementary to a given angle? So supplementary means that they have to add up to 180 degrees. So in order to find the other angle measure, we're going to go ahead and subtract the given angle from 180 degrees. So an angle is 25 degrees. What is its complement? So we have 180, and if we subtract 25, we get 155 degrees. We have an angle, and it's 176 degrees, so 180 minus 176 is equal to 4 degrees. So remember, we have to recall that complementary angles add up to 90 degrees, and we have to recall that supplementary angles add up to 180 degrees. Okay, so here it wants us to go over finding the measure of the missing angle, and the way that we actually do that is we learned about something called vertical angles. And when we have two lines that intersect, the angles that are directly across from each other are actually the same degrees. So for this one here, if this side is at 127 degrees, that means that this side is also 127 degrees. So x is equal to 127 degrees. This next one here, we have this square in there. So that square, if you guys recall, means that this is adding up to 90 degrees. So if you take x and you add 62, you would get 90. So the mathematical or algebraic way of solving this would be x plus 62 equals 90. And then we have to get x alone. So we subtract both sides with 62. And we get that x is equal to 28 degrees. Now you can easily just do 90 minus 62 and get the same answer. However, when learning to do these, you should be solving these or doing this in the mathematical way that we should show the proof. So we're going to go ahead and calculate the missing angle measure. I do have two angle measures that are already given to me. I have BAC, which is 25 degrees, and DAE, which is 75 degrees. Well, if we look at this, if I took all three of these angles, and we'll just call this angle X because we don't know it. If I took all three angles and add them together, they should equal 180 degrees. So that means if I took 25 plus 75 and I added x, those should all equal 180. Now I can just combine these two terms right here because that's 100. And I'm just going to rewrite what I have left. Undo addition with subtraction, inverse operations, and I get that x is equal to 80. So it would be 80 degrees. Or you could always just do 180 minus 75, which gives you 105, and then subtract 25, which would then give you 80, the same exact number. However, this way is not the algebraic way of thinking. This is the algebraic way of thinking. This is the way we want to start solving our problems. We want to do this in a way that makes sense algebraically. And this is our study guide. Remember, this is very vocabulary heavy, so make sure you're practicing that vocabulary. All right, and good luck on your test.